Financial resolutions are great, but let's be real. Budgets don't reset on January 1st. Between post-holiday credit card bills and getting back to your regular routine, cash is tight. That's why there's Upside. The free Upside app gets you cash back on gas, groceries, and dining. The 3 things draining your wallet right now. Over 100,000 participating locations means cashback opportunities are everywhere you already go. And yes, it's cashback, not points you'll never use, not credits that expire, money you transfer straight to your bank account. Here's how it works. Open the app, claim an offer, pay with your card like normal, and get paid. That's it. You'll earn 3 times more cash back with Upside than with loyalty programs or credit card rewards alone. Users earn $1 million in cash back every single week, and unlike other programs, you can stack Upside with your existing credit card and loyalty rewards. Upside is the best. It's a no-brainer, and I just want to point out, we're all out here. Times are tight. Everybody knows that things are more expensive than they should be, going through the roof. Anybody who's out here trying to help put a couple bucks back in your pocket, man, that is a good company. Support Upside. Go check out the app. Get to work on this one because I'm telling you, it's easy and it is something that I use and it's simple and it's worth it. Don't let your wallet get drained. Help push back and help Upside help you. Upside has given back $1 billion to its users. To find out how much you could earn, download the free Upside app and use promo code BEAUTIFUL to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code BEAUTIFUL.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time, 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab, and this message is brought to you by Simple Mills. Simple Mills packs nutrient-dense ingredients into snacks that taste amazing, like their cheesy light and airy Pop-Ums, or their 5 different delicious flavors of almond flour crackers, lifting you up, never weighing you down, so you can keep shining through the day. You could say Simple Mills is the feeling of the sun in a snack. Find Simple Mills at your grocery store.
Hello to everybody who agrees that witches are having a moment. It's Beautiful Anonymous, 1 hour, one phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hi, everybody. I know not everybody likes an intro. This one, I think if you skip about 5-6 minutes, that'll put you right towards the beginning of it. I forgot to time it exactly, but I think it's about that. About 5 or 6 minutes. It'll be right towards the beginning of the call. Thanks so much, and enjoy it. Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here. Welcome to another episode of Beautiful Anonymous. I'm recording this from home. If the intro sound quality sounds a little different than usual, it's because I'm not in the office that I've built into my little recording studio, where I sit there sometimes and record while my friend Larry, who I share my office with, puts headphones on so as to not have to hear me. I'm home now because I brought all my audio equipment home. I ran up and got it today because we're in the middle of this crazy snow blizzard that they're saying is going to be the worst storm in New Jersey since 1996. So I'm at home with the family, enjoying my home, and I'm here. That's where I am. I'm rambling a bit. I feel lucky to be doing this. Feel lucky I get to talk to so many people. Thanks so much to everybody who's been enjoying the recent episodes. A lot of people enjoyed the little saga of my tattoo. A lot of people, I think, really got a giggle out of how quickly it went from talking to our caller on stage in Chicago to the caller permanently etching ink into my skin as a tribute to my son's artwork. And thank you so much to everybody who enjoyed that. A lot of people were messaging me saying like, hey, we need a picture of the tattoo. Like I saw a lot of that on Blue Sky and got some Instagram DMs. That is up in the Facebook group, Beautiful Anonymous, the community, which is just slightly less public, right? Just slightly, like you have to answer a couple questions to get in there so we know you're not a bot and so we know that you don't have bad intentions. And that just gives us a slight amount of protection where I feel comfortable showing you the new tattoo. So join the Facebook group. You've heard me talk about it for years. Episodes get discussed there. It's pretty low key. I don't really use it to sell you anything. Every once in a while I go in there and say, what city should I go to if I do a live tour? That's about it. It's a chill place, but you can check out the tattoo over there in the Facebook group. What else do I need to tell you guys about? This is coming out on the 24th of February, and on the 25th, if you're in the New York area, we'll be doing my monthly variety show, That Show, at the UCB Theater. You can get tickets at chrisgeth.com, and I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be doing that show. I don't know. So if you want to come out. It'll be fun. We got a lot of great people on it. It's a good time. It's a really fun show. You can get live streaming tickets for that as well and watch it from anywhere in the world. But most importantly, if you're in New York City, you've been meaning to come see one live, come see it, because I don't know what we'll be doing with it moving forward. Okay. That's the plug. And now I have to tell you, first of all, this was night 3 of our live show stretch. Flew out to Chicago, met up with Andrea, who drove to Detroit, drove to Pittsburgh, got to Pittsburgh early, taught a little improv workshop. Lovely to meet all the people from the improv workshop. And then I got to do a show at a place that has proven over the years, just over and over again, I think probably the best comedy stage in America right now to me is Bottlerocket Social Hall, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Chris and Gracie, who run the place, are just super lovely people, on top of their stuff, have built a place where the vibes are right, just the actual physical location. You feel good being in there. It feels cool, feels sawdust on the floor in all the best ways, feels very much of the neighborhood. And then they just have really good taste in comedy, and they're running a great space, and I feel lucky to be a part of it. If you don't know, the first show they ever did was with me, and they told me I'm the first person to perform there 4 times, and I think 3 of those 4 times have involved Beautiful Anonymous taping. So thanks to everybody who's continuously come out in Pittsburgh. And man, do I feel like we got a good caller for this one. I don't want to say too much. I think I've, over the years, gotten into a habit of maybe spoiling a little too much in the intros. I will say this caller's spiritual practices, very fascinating. His caller's professional practices, very fascinating. The way those things overlap, very fascinating. I think that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to start getting vague again in the intros, unless there's really a need to give you a heads up on stuff. But I will just say, this caller is cool, has a great sense of humor. Also, some of the things that I've described, professional life and spiritual life, might seem a little shocking to some people. But I think one of the things that I was really fascinated by with this was, it does seem to me like there's an undercurrent that some of these choices are driven by self-actualization, by a real longing for agency in one's life and freedom in one's life. And there's some pain in there. There's some anger in there, right? I don't think the caller would deny that. But we hear how all those things add up, and how, one thing that I've thought about over and over and over again since this call, and that I don't know if I totally nail it, so I'll say it now. There's a point where the caller says, I believe the quote is, "My money is my freedom." Something very close to that. And I've thought about that so much. And especially being American right now, how much we conflate those things and how true that feels at times. And I think so much of that, this caller undoubtedly is a fighter. And I think so much of it is about that balance, right? Finances, freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of living the life you want to live. It's a really interesting call, and I hope that you enjoy it.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
We've been doing a fun thing. I'm pretty psyched about it. We've been getting to know the crowd before we start the calls. And the way we do that is we have this thing that we do where the stuff we make behind the paywall largely revolves around a list of questions that are submitted by listeners. It's up to 290 questions. And we end the show by asking 5 random questions from that list of our caller. But we've been starting the shows by asking a few random questions of our audience. So is there anyone here who would like me to use the random number generator? And there's a mic here. We can get it out to you. Is there anybody who wants to answer one of the questions off the list? Some of them are silly and some of them are pretty deep. Anybody want to get in on it? Come on up this way if you do. This feels weirdly threatening and no one seems into it. No one seems into it. It's not a gotcha. Like it's, I don't know. I might just ask you what the last time you shat your pants was. Thank you so much for taking a chance, sir. Here's how this works. I got this up. And then we got the random number generator here. And I'll click it. And it wants me to ask you number 92. Thank you so much for coming to the show, by the way.
Absolutely.
And number 92 is... See, everybody was scared. Growing up, what was your favorite frozen pizza? It's not scary. What do you think?
I forget the name.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? It's the one from Costco. It's like a French bread sliced in half.
Oh, yeah.
It's got, like,
I used to get the
garbage sauce on it.
Stouffer's.
Yeah, it's got little cubes of cheese on it.
Yeah.
And cubes of pepperoni in the same size.
The French bread was no joke.
Yeah, well,
This crowd is on your side.
everybody's breathing heavy. For sure.
Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Would anybody else like to answer a question from the list? See, it wasn't that painful. There you go. Hello. We'll do a couple of these. Let's see. Thank you so much for being here. And the list wants me to ask you, number 141. Let me scroll down to that. See what that is. What's the grossest thing you've ever stepped on?
Oh, God.
Right into the mic, please, because we all want to hear. And then, sir, you can be our final question for tonight.
I've slipped in cat barf.
Cat barf. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
When you say slipped in.
Yeah, fell.
Fell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was my clarifying question.
Yeah.
You got ahead of it.
Yeah.
Fell.
Fell down.
Like.
On the floor of my childhood bedroom because my cat had barfed on the floor.
Okay, so at
Yeah.
least you were home in a place where you could change.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
but
really...
it was the first thing I did when I got out of bed in the morning.
Oh, that's a bad way to start the day. But the rest of the day is not as awful as that, right?
Who knows? I was in elementary school.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
That's fair.
probably great.
Well, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Thank you so much for your stunning contribution to tonight's evening. Thank you so much. We got one more. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for being here. I would just honestly do this all night with you. You guys have a good vibe. Number 107. Let's see what it wants me to ask you. Oh, now we're going to get deep.
Oh, God.
You, sir,
Yeah.
my bearded friend, working class Pittsburgh looking guy. What's the most loving gesture you have ever received?
What the hell?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about love. Let's be vulnerable men and overcome this loneliness epidemic.
Yeah.
Let's me and you connect as vulnerable men willing to talk
Loving
about our
gesture.
feelings.
I'm here with my wife of 19 years together,
Wow.
10 years married, and we just determined 15 years cohabitating. So the love she gives me every day has been a wonderful reward. The hell?
See, why are you mad at me? You just crushed that answer and said the most loving gesture you've ever received is the last 19 years of your life. And now you get to go sit back down next to your wife like you're the fucking man.
Thanks, everybody.
And my guess is you might not even make it to the end of the show. You should be saying thank you to me.
Yeah,
Do you guys have kids?
No kids.
Oh, God bless you. You crushed that answer.
Dinkwads.
What's that?
I heard this thing recently, Dinkwad. It's dual income, no kids with a dog.
That's you. You're a dinkwad. Dual income, no kids with the dog. We don't talk about the dog in front of the paywall on this show, sir. But outside of that, thank you so much. What a beautiful answer, right? The most loving gesture you've received is the last 19 years with the woman you're here with tonight. Stop pretending you're mad, you smooth motherfucker. That was awesome. That was awesome. Okay, let me check the email. It looks like it's working. Remember, Pittsburgh, beautiful anonymous, Chicago is the way to interact with the show tonight. We got some people coming in. Andrea says, the last time Andrea had French bread pizza was the last time we were at Bottlerocket. Ian just sent the words test, test, mic check, which is mysterious. And then we have a past caller here revealing herself. Thank you from the New Year's Eve show. Good to talk to you. And that's it. That's the level of interaction we have. Pittsburgh, apparently, you guys just want to sit back and watch the show. You have no interest in being a part of it. And honestly, that's okay. It was a big ask, and maybe it was unfair. I'm going to put my jacket back on because it makes me feel a little bit better. And then I think we're good to go. I think that's all the bullshit, right, Andrea? What else? Yeah. Oh, Andrea likes driving better than flying, so I flew to Chicago. She's like, fuck it, I'm driving. So we never do this, but we brought T-shirts. We have T-shirts after the show, which is a thing. Hold on, I swear I know how to put on a jacket. I gotta say, that's very nice effort, but it doesn't feel good to have people cheer when I put on more clothes. Most performers, it's as they disrobe you cheer. With me, it's like, good, yeah, cover up that body with another layer of corduroy. From Quince. QUINC, you've heard me say that way too much. Way too much. Okay, I think that's just about that. I've got the clock up, Andrea. I feel ready to go if you do. As soon as you want to hit the shell shag, let's hit the shell shag. Hello, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, 1 phone call. No names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I fully did not expect to be on this call today, really. I had all plans just to do like some Sunday cleaning on my one night off and do a bit of a full moon ritual. But, I saw that the lines were open, so I'm like, let's do it.
Okay, first of all, you're here. I think you're aware there's a very nice crowd of supportive people in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, also listening in the room. Say hello, Pittsburgh. And I got to say,
oh my God.
I reacted and I heard the crowd react, and I think we had the same reaction where we were listening, and it sounds like you have a pretty Midwestern accent. Is that true?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Indiana.
From where?
Indiana.
From Indiana. And I drove through Indiana today on my way here. And then you had these vibes, and I was going to spend the night in and cleaning and this and that. And then you also just slid in that you were about to do, I think you said, a moon ritual?
Yeah, a full moon ritual. It's the full moon in Leo tonight, but I can just do that after.
So are you someone who are you witch adjacent?
I am. I'm a practicing Wiccan, mostly a solo practitioner, and I'm pretty new into it. I've been reading tarot cards for a few years, and I started reading palms back when I was like in high school. But I would say I've begun like my full-on practice just a few months ago.
Witches are back. Are we all aware of this? Witches are back. Witches are having a moment. There's an event in New Jersey. I love it. During the months where it's warm enough, there's a thing called Lunar Fair. They do it every month on the half moon and the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's huge. It gets no press. It has had no mainstream press. 3,000 to 5,000 people show up at each one. And it all revolves largely. I mean, there's definitely lots of people selling stuff, and you can buy some good hand-carved D&D dice there if you want. You can absolutely find a 3D printed dragon. You can find many of them actually, but you can also purchase potions. You can have people do spells. You can have people read tarot, do all kinds of witchy stuff, and I'm very, very blown away by it because, like I said, it hasn't even been written up in like the big Jersey paper or New Jersey Monthly, to my knowledge. And they're pulling 3,000 to 5,000 people twice a month just because.
Yeah.
Yeah, these witches are
I saw
going
one
hard.
ad on Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think is getting? You said you're into it recently. What brought you into it? Why do you think that the Wiccan lifestyle and witchy practices are having this moment?
I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so I could theorize on a few different things. Probably just like a sense of, feeling sort of out of control with the current state of the world that the general population is feeling. But I've been called to witchiness for a while now. It was strongly discouraged in me when I was younger. For sure. I grew up in a super religious Baptist family, and my mom especially was rather zealous. And when she found out I was just like loosely exploring the concepts, she had a pretty explosive reaction. But so I had been put off of it for a while. But I moved to New York 8 years ago and went through a bunch of like finding myself experiences and journeys and just a shit ton of ups and downs, and now I finally feel secure enough. Also, I have my own place now, so I can actually have somewhere to like put the altar of my dreams, so it just feels a lot more possible now.
So do you live in New York these days?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
So you live in Brooklyn. That'll do it. You move to Brooklyn, you turn into a witch pretty quick. It's true. You move if you're a repressed young woman in Indiana and your Baptist parents are not letting you explore any side of your combination of spirituality and your femininity, you get to Brooklyn, spend a few years with roommates, and then when you get your own pad, build that altar, let's cast some fucking spells.
Hell yeah. My own place, my own money. Witchy stuff is not, I mean, you can get some at a bargain, but I'm a Taurus where I was born under the, the Venus. So I like nice things. And I finally have the funds and the resources to, get my altar, the altar of my dreams together in my apartment.
The altar of your dreams, what does it entail? You've said it twice. You're clearly proud of this altar.
I am. Okay, so I ordered this gorgeous lotus-adorned carved table from the Ukraine. It's so teeny tiny, but it's perfect because I'm just in a studio. Also, I'm very teeny tiny, so I don't need big things. And I have a nice wooden pedestal. I'm going to ring this gorgeous little silver bell. Just to let my spirit guides and my ancestors know that I'm, ready to start a ritual or a practice. I just got a magic wand, this Hansa hand painting. I have an apothecary with a bunch of little drawers for herbs. I got this other set of 4 drawers with the chakra colors on it for my various tools and tinctures and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not done yet, but I'm getting pretty close.
That was everything I dreamed the answer could be when I asked you what your altar was like. I want to ask, so you mentioned you live by yourself now. Are you single?
So it depends on what you mean by single.
What a witchy answer. What a good Brooklyn witchy answer.
Yeah. So I'm polyamorous, and I have been for the past 8 months. It just feels really right. I have been single for 4 years, trying to figure out what I wanted. Turns out what I want is poly. And I did just break up with one of my 3 boyfriends, and I'm putting off. I know I need to break off with one other one. It's just taken me a minute because, Yeah, I got a
sounds
lot
like
going on,
soon
but
you're
I'm
not going to
get
be poly. Let's go ahead and pause for ads there, because that was simple math. That's always a nice feeling when being able to figure out 3 minus 2 equals 1 gives you a joke. Okay, we'll be right back. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. Because Delete Me knows your privacy is worth protecting. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what info you want deleted, and their experts take it from there. They send you regular personalized privacy reports. This is not just a one-time service. Those reports show you what info they found, where they found it, what they removed. I will tell you, I've been a Delete Me customer for years now. I just got my most recent privacy report, and man, it showed me. It broke it down. They go back. If your info winds up on these sites, and these sites are negative, when you start to realize this is out there, it leaves a pit in your stomach, man. It leaves a pit in your stomach realizing that people are out here buying and selling your personal info. It's wild. I got my privacy report. It showed me that they went through, I think it was something like 600 or 800 sites, that they had all been removed already. A few had tried to add my info back. They pulled it back down for me. And that means so much for me. I will tell you, I've lived very publicly over the years. I've made a lot of crazy art. It has invited people in, but at times, there's this phrase parasocial where things get hazy and lines get crossed, and it can feel like, you just need a little extra added boost to making sure that things are locked down and your privacy is protected. And Delete Me has given me that sense of peace, that absolute peace of mind. And I really think this is something that everyone would be well served to do. You don't need people selling your parents' address on the internet. It's wild that this is even legal. And I give Delete Me a ton of credit that they're out here battling these people with bad intentions. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private. Sign up for Delete Me, now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful and use promo code beautiful at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Enter code beautiful at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/beautiful, code beautiful. Reaching your weight loss goals doesn't have to mean completely changing the way you live your life. What if you could make healthy progress with a treatment plan that included medication, access to 24/7 support, nutrition tips, and tools for tracking movement, hydration, and sleep, all personalized to go at your pace? That's Weight Loss by Hers. Through Hers, you're connected with a medical provider who determines if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment plan is personalized to support you in reaching your goals. Plus, you can access a range of treatment options like oral medication kits or GLP-1 injectables. Hers goes beyond medication by offering access to ongoing care, dosage and medication adjustments, lifestyle and nutrition tips, and 24/7 support with no hidden costs or membership fees. And with options starting at just $69 per month with a 10-month plan when you paid up front in full, Hers provides access to options that fit your goals and your budget. They even offer the convenience of 100% online care with licensed providers on the other side who learn your story and create a personalized plan to deliver healthy progress you can maintain. So no more yo-yoing, just steady results. Turn to Hers for comprehensive, personalized healthcare you can count on. From weight loss support to growing thicker hair, easing anxiety to navigating menopause symptoms, even accessing convenient lab testing, Hers has you covered. Feel like your best self again. Visit forhers.com/beautiful to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's forhers.com/beautiful. forhers.com/beautiful. Weight Loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded drug products are not approved or evaluated for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for full details, important safety info, and restrictions. Actual price depends on product and plan purchase. Thanks again to our advertisers. Now let's get back to the phone call. It sounds like soon you're not going to be poly.
always going to be poly at heart. But I'm still very open to connections, and my one other remaining partner is, we're on the same page about that for sure.
When you are out on the scene, because I was a young person living in Brooklyn for a while. People are out there at bars meeting each other, and then eventually, hey, you want to come back to my place? Do you explain? Do you when you're bringing someone back to your place? Are you like, so just so you know, when we open the door, you're going to see probably the greatest pagan-coated altar you've ever seen. Do you give them a heads up?
You know what? I have not brought anyone back yet that I didn't know previous to moving into my own place.
Fair.
Fair. And I don't really do the strangers in my house thing.
Yeah.
The energy is super sacred.
So before someone comes over, they're going to be well aware that you're somebody who drops frequent references to the zodiac in casual conversation, and that you like spells and you have wands, and they're gonna get it.
Yeah, amongst other all manner of crazy shit. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about all of it. We've got this. When I asked this crowd to test out the email, they were so shy about it. And when I tell you the questions are pouring in now, yay! Caller, you have brought them to life. You'll be happy to hear that right away we're hearing, and I'm not shocked at all, having been to Bottlerocket as many times as I have, that there are other witches here in Pittsburgh tonight sending emails just to check in. Patricia says, another witch. Love it. We've got Amber, who I don't even know what this means. Amber says, ask the caller what her sun, moon, rising are and if she agrees with what she is.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sun in Taurus, and I have to make my best estimation as to my moon and rising because my mother will not tell me my time of birth, and it's not on the copy of the birth certificate that I have. Okay. She says she doesn't know, but I think she's lying because she thinks the zodiac is the devil and just doesn't want me to do it. But okay, so my best estimation is I know I'm a Taurus sun, and I am a Cancer moon and Pisces rising. And yes,
there's people there's people more knowledgeable on this than I am who groaned, where it sounds like that's some sort of dangerous combination.
Oh no, I'm just I've got very strong boundaries, very strong work ethic. Once I start something, I tend to finish it if it feels aligned with my path. But I can also be I'm just like very sensitive and intuitive. But not in a way that kind of like gets in the way of my goals, I would say. Also, I love luxury.
Kat sent an email saying, I'm betting the caller has a major Leo placement too.
Oh, well, my Venus is in Aries. So I definitely have, I don't know if I have anything yet. What?
I made a face denoting that I don't know what any of this is. These are pouring in now. Andrea wants you to know that she's an Aquarius sun, Gemini moon, and Cancer rising. This conversation.
Oh my gosh.
I just have to say, I'm always happy to take a back seat, but the witches have taken over the airwaves. The witches are running this episode. I don't know any of what I'm talking about. A lot of people asking what's your favorite tarot card, and if you can do a virtual tarot card reading at some point in tonight's call.
Oh shit! I would absolutely love to. I have probably about like 13 decks of tarot cards because they just keep making different, beautiful decks with all different, beautiful sets of art. Yes. Right now, I think definitely my favorite tarot card changes depending on what I'm going through, which just seems, natural. Currently, I would say it's the Ace of Pentacles. I'm very much focused on my resources right now because I'm just coming out of a period of and any Tauruses can back me up here for sure. We've been going through 8 years of like total hell and chaos. And, chaos isn't so bad for everybody, but for Taurians, it absolutely is. And so, but it's definitely been a growth period, but it's been punctuated by a lot of like dire financial straits. So the Ace of Pentacles is like, you know, in the simplest of terms, a gift of money or resources. So whenever I see it in a spread, I'm like, fuck yeah. I read right before work every night. And then I just know I'm going to get some good money.
Caller, I need to say so sincerely, and this goes for everybody in the email box who just threw gasoline on this witchy fire. I've done over 500 of these at this point. I think a lot of the fans have expressed that they're often impressed by my ability to know a little bit about enough things to keep up with conversations. And I can say so genuinely, in 10 years, I have never known less of what the fuck a caller is talking about than what you just said. And I've talked to people who like straight up live in Antarctica and study waterfowl and was able to find something I could hang on to. I don't know. You at one point said the word pentacles, and I was like, I can guess with that. I don't. Whatever that is, I guess it got 5 sides. Oh, coins. Okay.
Yeah, in this context. Mm-hmm.
I've never felt more at the mercy of the combination of the caller and crowd than during this live call, right here. I am really. But I gotta tell you, I really do.
I'm happy to share.
Let's see. For example, Celeste just emailed in. If we're talking about witchcraft, we need to name that today is Imbolic. Did I say that right? Imbolc?
Imbolc.
So, oh, my goodness. And Celeste's actual email signature in there as a footer, not prepared for this email, literally lists her as artist and witch. Round of applause. How many witches are in the crowd tonight? Less than I thought, but they've had a major impact. Major impact. We got any warlocks in the motherfucking house? Where's my druids at? Okay. Frankie's checking in to say hi. Capricorn Sun and Rising and Sagittarius Moon here. What's your card of the year? Also, you have such a sweet laugh, which I think is true. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, you can take the girl out of Indiana, but you can't take the Indiana out of the girl. I am sweet as pie. Card of the year. I drew the Empress on New Year's Eve, which was just the best sign ever. Meaning that it's time for me to focus on my creativity and bringing the various ideas. And I have in the past, but at a much slower rate. But this sort of aligned, passion-filled creative ideas and projects is bringing them out of my mind and into fruition is what intuitively I interpreted that to mean. And just taking care of myself and my 2 cats and being in love and
Now you mentioned you said you can take the girl out of Indiana, you can't take the Indiana out of the girl. What happens when the girl goes back to Indiana?
So the girl goes back to Indiana once every few months. Have a much better relationship with my mother now. So I end up going back to see her and my stepdad and my little brother, and who's staying with them right now. And also to get some rest, get a break, stretch out. New York can be, it's incredibly exciting and it's where I belong and, where I've always wanted to be. But yeah, it can be stressful, so it's nice to take regular breaks.
Great answer. That's a great answer. We just got a question. It's shaking me up a little bit. Jenny sent an email. Chris is a psychic. Chris, since you are channeling questions from all the witches in the room, is this the closest you've ever felt to being a psychic medium? And Jenny also then put in parentheses, I wore a pentacle necklace through middle school, which is a great thing to add. I had a very strange psychic experience when I was in middle school. It was very strange. You want to hear about it, caller?
Yes, absolutely. I'm so curious.
We had a teacher named Mrs. Herman, and I have no idea why she was doing this with our homeroom. She must have been tenured, because she She did a thing where she would have one of us hold a card that had a color on it and see if we could look into each other's eyes and guess the color. And as I'm saying that out loud, this is the first time I've thought about this in 30-something years. And as I'm saying it out loud now, as a father, I'm like, what the fuck was going on? That's unacceptable in a public school. What was going on? And now it is in this moment on stage that I'm realizing that something very strange was happening. But my 7th grade teacher was running MK Ultra-like experience on the children. And I'm only now coming to terms with that. West Orange, New Jersey, weird place to grow up. So everybody was obviously missing, and then occasionally would hit, and it was like, ha, ha, ha. And then I went, and this kid, Nick Lambusta, who I didn't know that well, guessed my color, and everybody was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then she was like, cool, try another one. And I looked at it, and he guessed it again. And everybody was like, whoa, ha, ha. And then he pulled a card, and they were like, Chris, you try. And I guessed it again. And they were like, let's switch back again. And he guessed it again. And it happened enough times in a row that she was like, stop doing it. Stop doing it. We gotta stop. We gotta stop right now. And then she was like, are you guys like really good friends or anything? And we were like, no, we actually got in a fist fight in 5th grade and haven't talked for years. And I never forgot that. And I only saw him one other time. He moved out of town, and then I was at a punk rock show in Boonton, New Jersey, years later, and I saw him there and was like, do you remember? And he was like, I couldn't even finish the question. I was like, do you remember that? And he was like, yeah. Like, did not want to talk about it, had clearly messed with his head as well. And I tried to look him up a couple years ago, and he died, sadly. And I felt very weird that my psychic connection is dead. That was a weird thing to be like, oh, haha, I was psychically connected with Nick Lambusta. Let's see what he's... Sorry to bum everybody out at the tail end of an otherwise really charming story.
Okay.
Caller, it sounds like you dwell mostly in positive magic and what I think, and I'm sure there's many layers to this that I don't know, not being Wiccan, but, you know, growing up in the 80s, we would hear about white magic and black magic, and it sounds like you dwell mostly in what I think of as white magic. I don't know if it's still used that way, but have you ever dwelled over to the dark side?
Okay, so yeah, I absolutely up to this point, have only dealt in what I refer to as positive magic. Okay. I'm actually going to recommend a book because I'm staring at it in my bookcase right now. Positive Magic, A Toolkit for the Modern Witch by Marian Weinstein. I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of practicing witches are familiar with it. It really helped me to determine sort of my the way that I wanted to practice magic. And for the most part, I truly have not even remotely seriously considered using dark magic or baneful magic or hexing or cursing or anything like that. Recent experiences have certainly drawn me closer and closer to the possibility of casting my first hex.
Someone in the email did ask if you can hex Ted Cruz. Which is...
Here's the thing.
Yeah, because that's what you were indicating, right?
Yeah, for large projects, that it's not. It's someone I know. It's someone I know personally.
Wow.
Not very well, but who's causing a lot of, who's doing a lot of damage to people. But for a large project like Ted Cruz, I think some of the witches who are emailing in, we might have to pool our energy resources and work together on that one.
But the sad part is I can think of like a dozen people that are now worse than Ted Cruz. That's the wild part. He's not even in the top 10 people that need hexing right now. That's how far we've fallen as a country. That should be the barometer that will bring this country back together. Literally, everyone's mutual dislike of Ted Cruz is the thing that I think we can all go, hey guys, if there's 10 people more concerning than Ted Cruz, we honestly need to come together as a nation because that's fucked up. And we're there. We're there.
Yeah.
So you got this person in your personal life who's causing a lot of chaos, and you're thinking you might need to go a little vigilante on it, and you might need to be the one to deal with it.
Yeah, I may need to be the one to deal with it because it's not just affecting me. it's affecting everyone. I'm not going to dance around it anymore. I'm an exotic dancer, and we have certain we have certain people who work within the space who are not exotic dancers, who are male. They're really guards, or not guards. They're doormen. They're doormen, and most of them do the job that they're supposed to do. But one person really puts himself out there to be just a fucking demon in multiple ways, and it's been he's been tough to deal with.
That this is fascinating on so many levels. It's also a workplace that historically a lot of debate of, is this exploitation of women or is this empowerment of women? And to hear, I bet you're not the only witch who's an exotic dancer. Probably even probably not even at your club. And it sounds like this person is positioning themselves in a way where you feel like they are an exploiter. And that seems like a good reason to hex.
Yeah. Yeah, the main reason I haven't done it is because of the rule of threes and my fear of it blowing back on me. I have been researching, the karmic blowback. So I have been researching different protections that one can use for that sort of thing, because once things come to a bit of a head, you start to really seriously consider it. And, it's been an ongoing dilemma for me, but over time it's just becoming clearer and clearer that it might be something I need to do.
Now, can I ask, are you a dancer in clubs in New York City?
Yes.
I've heard you can make big coin in New York City as a dancer.
Yeah. I'm doing better than I ever have. Got my own studio now in a luxury building with amenities and stuff. In-unit washer dryer, which I never thought I would have as a single person, Singlish. Yeah.
In Brooklyn, washer dryer in the unit, luxury building. This means what? There's a gym. Is there a pool? Gym. Is there a pool?
There's no pool. There's a courtyard, and there's an office, and there's a games room and a screening room. And when the weather gets nicer, we're all going to be on the finished rooftop with barbecues and deck chairs.
This ain't bad. I don't know if you want me to ask too many questions about that side of the lifestyle, or if you want me to focus on the witchy stuff.
Ask away! I'm an open book.
Okay. One thing I want to say is my understanding. Also, sadly, before I was like, I've never been this out of my element. And now I'm like, all right, cool, I'm back on track. But here's one thing that I've read up on, and it really, really bothers me, because, look, people are going to have their opinions on exotic dancing. And like we said before, there's some people that say this is exploitation, other people that say this is empowerment. But one thing that I have read, and tell me if this is true, is that the industry standard is that you actually, on the payment structure, you're not getting paid by the club. You're actually paying them, that there's fees to get on stage. Almost how a barber rents a chair. You're renting the stage space?
Absolutely. That is the analogy that I use, because that seems to be a bit more familiar to people. When I tell people that I have to pay money to the club to use the space, the immediate reaction seems to be, is somewhat negative, or people think that ought not to be the case. But it's just like booth rent at a barber shop or a beauty shop. And at my club, and every club is different, some clubs are very exploitative with the fees. The important thing to note is that every club all across the country and across the world works differently. There are some similarities based on region or country, but very, very different. And to go from one club expecting the same thing as another is, I would not recommend that, because you just got to learn the rules of the club. And a lot of them are unspoken. But what is spoken is the fee. And the fee to be there at my club is quite low. It can be, it's under $100. Other clubs like in Miami and some places in like Vegas and stuff like that, I hear about it. Mine is actually usually under $80. And considering that I average anywhere from 700 to 2,000 a night, depending on whether it's a weeknight or a weekend, it's really not bad. I barely notice it.
And I get that, and I like hearing that you're at a club that keeps that fee low, and it seems like it's nominal. But I also just want to say, as I think one of the main things that we can be doing in this country to do some good is look for ways for working people in particular to unite. And as someone who's a very proud member of 2 unions, I just want to say that's worker exploitation, and I think that's fucked up. I don't think you're already putting your body on the line. You're already working hours that are ungodly. You're already putting yourself in a position where, let's face facts, like I'm sure many clubs have good security, but you also, you are in a workplace environment where you're getting out. In New York, let's be clear, 4 a.m. is when bars close, and you don't know if some guy's going to be waiting in the car because he's a maniac, waiting to see if you walk down the block.
Oh, boy.
So
yeah, don't I know it.
The idea that you have to pay in on that, and then do you make your money off of tips and dance fees and things like that?
Tips. There is a certain, and I want to be clear. Yeah, I think that my industry could absolutely benefit from unionizing for a lot of different reasons, for sure. We're 1099 employees, so things work differently. Fortunately, at my club, they follow the law in that 1099 employees are not to be held to a particular schedule. I go in when I want and I leave when I want, which is cool, but that is uncommon. And I think that there should be a standard of non-exploitation, across the board, for sure. But there is a base dance price. At my club, it's $20. At some, it's $40. Blah blah blah. I don't mind the $20 because it's easier to upsell. And then you ask for a tip on top of that, or it behooves you to ask for a tip on top of it. And some girls, say, well, the base price is $20, but my dance is $30, and they have the right to do that. And but everybody runs their hustle very differently. Sure.
Now, I want to be fully honest. I've never been a huge strip club guy, but I've been to strip clubs. I'm 45 years old. I lived in New York City for 16 years.
Yeah.
There's a few New York City strip clubs that I've been in. There's not a 0% chance that you work at a place I have patronized.
Oh, I am sure I work at a place that you have patronized. Yeah.
Let's pause there. We're going to find out if that's true. And we'll find out so many more things when we return. A well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, and everyday staples that feel easy to wear and easy to rely on, even as the weather shifts. Quince has the everyday essentials I love with quality that lasts. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing seasons. The list goes on. Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman so you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. Plus, they only partner with factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. I have been rocking my corduroy jackets and feeling so great about them. Absolutely feel great. I get compliments when I wear them. I recently wore one in a show, and multiple people said nice things about that jacket afterwards. And I get to sit here and go, not only do I love that jacket, and by the way, I went and bought multiple copies of the same jacket because I like it so much. And I know I'm getting a good price on this thing. I'm getting a good fit on this thing. This thing's going to last longer. The length of time that Quince products last compared to the stuff that I've gotten at stores, it's laughable. You get bang for your buck with Quince in a real way. It's awesome. Go check it out. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/beautiful for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/beautiful. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/beautiful.
This is Radhi Devluka from A Really Good Cry. A lot of wellness routines start with motivation and end somewhere between week 2 and a half-used supplement drawer. Grunes was created to make daily nutrition simpler. Instead of pills or chalky green drinks, Grunes packs over 20 essential vitamins and minerals, greens and prebiotics into a snack pack of delicious gummies. It feels approachable and not demanding. The convenient, comprehensive formula supports gut health, beauty, energy, immunity, recovery, and cognition in one daily habit. Grunes contains 6 grams of fiber, which is more than 2 cups of broccoli, and the ingredients in Grunes are backed by 35,000 research publications, which is part of what makes the formula so intentional. Grunes is vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, and made without artificial colors or flavors. Plus, it's methylated, so key nutrients like B12 and folate are in forms your body can actually use. It's comprehensive nutrition designed for routines you can actually stick with. Get up to 52% off with code CRY at grunes.co. That's code CRY at gruns.co.
Thanks to the advertisers who make this show possible. Now, let's finish off the phone call.
How are you sure?
I just know.
Have you seen me at a strip club?
Oh, no, not that. Yeah, I'm not that sure. I'm 80% sure
You're at
because
one of the
club that
popular
I
ones.
work at.
I can tell you, I'll tell you which ones I've been to. I lived in Queens forever, and a couple times my roommate and I went to Gallagher's in Long Island City. Someone whistled in the crowd. Right near Penn Station is Rick's Cabaret. That's one that I've been to. And I've been to my friend from college had a bachelor party 20 years ago where we went out to one of the ones on the west side. I think it was the Hustler Club. Is that out there?
Okay. Yeah, Hustler Club is still up and running. Yeah.
You don't have to say which one, but have I patronized your establishment based on that list?
You've gotten very close.
I can't. So I know the general region. Okay. Amazing. Good to know. Good to know. I've always wondered this. One of my favorite things about New York City. Here's a question that's not like the basic level. Oh, so you take your clothes off. One of my favorite things about New York City, one of the things I actually miss the most, and it went away for me. Part of why I moved out of New York City was back when I was having that hot streak, which if you've been listening to the show forever, a lot of you will remember. 2016 through 2018 got really, really crazy for me. And it was a good thing in many, many ways. Like, I had been working for a decade and a half and finally was having to pay off. But like there were like posters with my face in the subway, and I was making money, but not enough money where I could just not take the subway. And people were taking pictures of me and posting them on me and my wife eating ice cream and people posting them on the internet and tagging me in them and me feeling very weird about that. Being on the platform for the F train at one point and someone just whispering the word Gethard over and over again. And I leaned over to Hallie and I was like, I just need to make sure you hear that. And she was like, yeah, someone's whispering your name to see if you'll turn around. Which anytime someone came up to me, like generally if someone was like, I like your stuff, either I'd be like, thanks so much and be shy, or they'd eventually be like, hey, I gotta go. I didn't want to like talk forever about public access television. Like it would go one of two ways, but the whispering thing, and it was very sad. Hallie actually started crying because she realized like I've had a lot of mental illness issues, and I thought I didn't know if I was hearing a fucking voice in my head, and that was part of how I had to leave New York City, because one of the things that I loved about my time in New York was the anonymity that people do not realize. You can participate in something in New York that is really pronounced and at times even insane. And when you leave, you are just another person on a block in New York City. Like, I would encourage anyone listening and my friends in Pittsburgh in here, if you ever get a chance to go to a basketball game, whether it's the Knicks, whether it's the Big East tournament, or a fight, UFC or boxing, at Madison Square Garden, it's awesome. The arena is amazing. You get to go. But one of the things that it always, and I've never really talked about this, it always blew my mind that you go to a Knicks game and there's 30,000 rowdy people there. And when it lets out, you are at 32nd Street between 7th and 8th Avenue in the heart of Manhattan. And unlike any other city in the world, 5 minutes after that game is done and 30,000 people have hit the street, you would not know the game had happened 10 minutes prior, because New York City is just back to being people everywhere moving and buzzing around. And it does make me think, in certain parts of the country or smaller towns, if you're a dancer, there might be the idea that, well, when you go shopping, people might recognize you and it might be life-defining. But in New York, you must have a lot more freedom to live a life that's not defined by any one aspect of your personality, including your job, which is a job that in other areas might be a lot more stigmatized or might be something that follows you a bit more. Am I right about that?
Yeah, for sure. And I've danced in small towns and big cities. But yeah, you're right. Here in New York, I just blend back into the fabric, and I try not to signal that I'm a dancer, and which is most common when I'm going to and leaving from the club. Nowadays, I just hop in an Uber coming from the club because I'm like, I'm not walking around with this much money. That's crazy. And, because of recent experiences after getting out of work, like really scary experiences, I'm like, I'm just going to hop in an Uber. But on the way there, yeah, I go in my makeup and whatnot. And I think as long as it's not obvious that you're signaling that you're a stripper, then people really don't notice. And the reason I don't want to signal is not because I'm afraid of anyone, I'm afraid of perceptions of being stigmatized personally. I understand the fear, but that's not my concern. My concern is that dancers are targeted because people assume we have a lot of money, and often we do. Yeah. And I don't want anyone trying to rob me. So, yeah.
The anonymity and freedom, and also the one thing that I don't often miss New York, but I do, even me, like a shy, nerdy guy, like I remember when I was taking jiu-jitsu classes, this was when MMA was still illegal in New York. This was back in like 2006, 2007. And this was not a big thing. Like Joe Rogan had not convinced every fucking asshole to take jiu-jitsu classes at this point. And I remember a friend of mine was like, hey, there's some fights tonight. You want to go? And I was like, sure. And knew, like implicitly, these are not licensed. I'm going to some sort of underground fight club. And it was in the Garment District. It was on like 28th, 29th, 30th Street. You'll know exactly where I talk about, those blocks. They get so quiet at night. They shut down. And we went up to like a fifth floor walk up, and there was an entire floor of some old industrial building. And it was just a boxing ring in the middle, and people were Muay Thai fighting and MMA fighting, and people were fucking waving money around and betting on it, smoking cigars and shit. I was like, I feel like I'm in a cool-ass video game. And then I left, it got out at like 2 a.m. and we left. And the way New York works, that's so fucking crazy, is me and my friend PJ who went, it was like, all right, man, yeah, you want to go like get some food? And it was like, then there's 9 restaurants within walking distance that are just open, and no one knows that we were just watching illegal underground pit fighting. New York fucking city, man. It's the best that way.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of people in
Everybody just gets to let their freak flag fly.
Oh, it's a great place for that. A lot of people are encouraging you actively to hex the bouncer. Erin just wrote the words "hex him" in all caps. We got Kat, who I think has some experience, says. And I bet you know this, caller, but says, as far as hexing goes, if you're new to it, start simple. Write their name on paper, fold it away 3 times, and stick it inside your shoe. For what it's worth, I don't believe in the rule of 3. I do far more good than bad. Anyway, don't know what that part means. A lot of people are hoping the hex goes down. And someone actually said, Liz wants to know, can we hex the bouncer with the caller tonight? Use the energy of this former VFW hall for the greater good. We all need this right now. But I actually will say I'm not totally comfortable out of my element participating in a hex. I believe just enough that I don't want that hanging over. Someone actually asked me.
I feel you.
Yeah, someone asked me, Chris, do you think anyone has ever hexed you? And there's one ex-girlfriend I have who I would not be surprised if she at some point had hexed me. That is the answer to that.
Interesting.
People want to know
what was going on.
I tell you, it was a hell of a relationship. It was obviously many, many, many years ago at this point. We were both young. We both had not grappled with our mental instabilities of various types, and we had a really, really great and fun relationship. But when we would get in fights, the fights would be wild to a degree that I was like, I don't do shit like this. Like, I don't even talk. I got it. And then, and it was just wild, and it just was clear it wasn't going to work. And she was very upset, and I understand that, but there were definitely some moments of anger where if she personally or through a contract basis hired someone to hex me, that is the person in my life who would have. That being said, we're friendly again. Text once or twice a year, see how the other one's doing. So we went from hex to text. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Get it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Went from hex to text. We're good. We're good. A number of people want to know how you got your start dancing.
Ooh, amazing story. Okay. So I'm 33 now. I'm going to be 34 in April. And so really excited for that. But I started when I was 18, very shortly after I turned 18. I went off to college and was not ready for college at all, was just coming out of it's probably about 12 straight years of extreme narcissistic abuse at the hands of my father. And so I was, and my mom was definitely a participant in that. My mom and I have have done actually quite a bit of repair. My father, not nearly as much, but yeah. Anyway, I was in a state. I was heavily controlled in a very pathological way for a long time, and I needed/wanted desperately to rebel and just do precisely what I was not supposed to do. So I went ahead and at my college town, instead of going to classes, I stopped going to classes after about 3 weeks. And decided to start dancing at the one strip club in town, small town, one room strip club, no VIP, just a little horseshoe for lap dances, a horseshoe couch configuration off in the corner, and one stage with 2 poles and 2 girls up at a time. And I did that for, I think I was there for as long as I was in that town. I think about 9 months. That being a small town, I was recognized. So that's definitely a thing that dancers in small towns can potentially deal with. And then I eventually dropped out of college or was forced out, and didn't really care. I stayed in the trailer parks around the college for a while before going back to my hometown. Stayed in my hometown for another year at first with my family, and that went absolutely terribly. My father was worse than ever. And so I ended up couch surfing a bit, living in my car until I eventually went to Texas, where I lived on a horse ranch for 9 months. Got kicked out of that program. It was the Young Ladies Mental Health Program. And then I started dancing in Texas. And that area, a few different clubs. Left Texas, went to Chicago, worked at one club, got fired, devastating, and then worked in another. I think all in all, I've worked in 7, but my current club is my absolute favorite. Absolute favorite for lots of reasons. Yeah.
I gotta say, it sounds like there was a lot of trauma. There were some situations that sound like, it is easy for me to think of like a high-end West Side Highway, New York City club where you're making $2,000 a night and go, fuck yeah, go. And then you also hear but it started out in a small town in Indiana with a horseshoe-shaped couch off in the corner, and you go, well, that's the dark side that we all fear. And hearing that you were living in a car for a while and bouncing around to different states and trailer parks, I just want to say on a basic level before any other reaction, I sincerely hope you enjoy your view from your fucking luxury apartment in Brooklyn, New York.
Thank you.
First things first.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're hitting up that gym in your luxury building, I hope that you are laughing in the face of everyone who ever fucking made you feel small.
Thank you, Chris.
Of course. Now, you mentioned your mom's religion. You've mentioned that your dad was very controlling in a way that sounds like it was extreme. I have to imagine that the conversation has been had of if you're in an ultra-religious, very, very controlling household, there is some argument to be made that the lifestyle you are living is their nightmare and your revenge.
You know, well, I can confirm 100% of the former, and the latter is quite possible. You know, maybe subconsciously, at least somewhat. My main thing has been freedom, and I actually thought about this today before I had any inkling in my mind that I might call. I thought about it, just the thought occurred to me today that maybe freedom is so freaking important to me because that was the main thing that I craved during the most, traumatic and extensively traumatic period of my life. And it was the one thing that was withheld from me, freedom in all aspects, freedom of physical movement, freedom of faith practice, freedom just to be myself, to be not what they expected or wanted me to be. Freedom, yeah, it's so important to me. And dancing gives me that.
I love
because, unfortunately, in our capitalist society, money equals freedom. And that is what I've found. And so I have been focusing so much on making sure that I have enough money to make sure that I can leave any situation that I find myself in that I don't want to be in anymore.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anybody who might be, there will be a wide range of how much people are comfortable with the lifestyle and the exotic dancing, but I can't imagine anyone who hears, I grew up in a situation with no freedom, and now I have the freedom I've always dreamed of. Full stop right there. Mm-hmm. That's amazing to hear, and I'm glad about it.
Thank you.
Someone who wishes to remain anonymous on this one, I think not to piss off the live crowd, says, I love Pittsburgh so much, but I used to live in Brooklyn. I do miss the anonymity of New York. I moved here during the pandemic. This makes me laugh, and caller, you'll love it too. I miss the ability to cry on public transportation and have everyone mind their business. Pittsburgh's the city of Mr. Rogers, and the neighborly vibe is great unless you need to have a good cry. Won't you be my neighbor? I've told it. I must have told it. I was once on the 1 train years ago, and a woman was crying violently. And I was pretty new to New York, and at one point I just leaned over and I was like, hey, whatever's going on, I really hope you're all right. And she looked up at me and was like, do not go away. And I was like, oh man, New York City, you seem like you're in distress. And she's like, you can fuck off too. Well, I really love it.
Yeah. I mean, I've cried on the train. I've cried at the train. I've screamed at the train.
I've done all of those
as
things.
It has come into the station. Yeah,
I've shit my pants on the New York City train. I've shit my pants on a New York City bus. That's a sad sentence I just said. I shit my pants on the Q34 in Queens on the bus. Shitting your pants on a New York City bus. That caller, living in New York City, that's one where you're like, okay, you need to make, like, do you have a mental health professional in place that you see regularly? If not, let's get you hooked up with one.
Yeah, or a gastroenterologist, yeah? Yeah.
Well played. You truly have the cackle of one adorable ass witch. You got a Wicked Witch of the West laugh. That's a witch laugh right there.
Oh, I do cackle. I can't help it.
What's it like? I've always wondered this about certain New Yorkers. What's it like? Because New York, they say it's the city that never sleeps. There's truth to it, though. What's it like to live a schedule that is so opposite what most people do?
Oh, my God. Yeah. So I refer to myself now as functional and nocturnal. I woke up today at 4 p.m. because I did leave work at 4 a.m. Last night. Intended to leave around 2, but then had an awesome last-minute VIP room experience. And so I was like, yeah, let me stick around for that. But, yeah, it's tough because many people in my life don't live this schedule. And I, so a lot of them are able to stay up, though not as late as me. I often stay up until like 8 a.m. inadvertently. And so I'm fortunate that my friends and lovers have, they try to stay up for me, but I try to, let them sleep when it's clear that they need to go to sleep. But it's, it can be challenging, but I work through it, and I love being awake when, people around me are asleep. It's where I get my my solitude time. Since my job is to be social and facilitate others' good time, which I love to do, it's just energy consuming. And my friendships and my relationships are really important to me, but it's important to get some alone time as well, and that affords me that.
When you say you had an awesome VIP room experience, what makes it awesome?
Okay. So for the first time, I ended up in with this party. I'm not often included in the parties because I am not cooperative in the way that this doorman wants me to be. But this time, I was specifically requested and insisted upon, and this person. The guy who was in charge of the party, paying for the party, he was just so smitten with me, and I honestly, with it, he's also a witch. It turns out, and I was not signaling that I was a witch, but I think intuitively he could probably tell. And we ended up talking about witchy shit, and we were singing. I'm a singer, and we were dancing. We did karaoke, and it was just so fun. And there was no like weirdness, like in an overly touchy way. It was just all very respectful, and they were like looking at me in awe as I was dancing, and it all seemed very respectful. And yeah, it was a good group.
I don't, if you're like, we shouldn't comment on that further. 100% respect that. It does sound like, as you mentioned more about this doorman, which I wasn't certain what it meant. It sounds like maybe this doorman is pressuring girls into going further with clients than they would like. If you don't want to answer that, that's totally fine.
That is the impression that I get. Yes, based on things I've been told.
That's really it's. I mean, it's just such a bummer to, even hearing that in the places where you can pull down $2,000 a night, and not that places where you're not making tons of money, it's more acceptable to be, I don't think that it's a hidden fact that some clubs are very much, we play by the rules, and other clubs are not. This is a thing that if you grow up.
More often than not.
Yeah.
It just depends.
To hear that even at that level, it comes down to like this, there's one guy putting a pressure campaign. That's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, he should not be able to do it. And I don't know how common knowledge it is, but I do know that this, and I can't officially say that I can 100% confirm it, but what I can confirm is that I have been barred from entering places, even when from entering, upstairs rooms and stuff. Even when I have been requested by this person who has edged me out, and I've watched him do it to other people.
Sounds like somebody who needs a good hex right to the dome.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody needs a hex right to the temple.
Yeah, even if all he was doing was getting in the way of mine and other people's money, that would be enough. Because again, our money is our freedom, and on feminist grounds and principles and everything that I hold righteously dear, that is just evil. And the other things that I suspect he attempts to do, just utterly demonic. And he doesn't need to remain in his current position.
Hex him up. Now, you sound like someone who, there's a stereotype about the strip club experience of, man, like, watch what you agree to because people are just trying to get all your money out of your wallet, But you sound like, you're like, hey, we got singing karaoke with a guy and he's a witch too. And it sounds like you do connect to someone. Do you feel a responsibility? Like if someone comes in and they seem to be addicted to this lifestyle, or they seem to be someone who's, whether it's a sex addict or someone who's throwing money around in a way where you go, this is reflective of some sickness. Do you feel a responsibility to flag that on any level? Are there mechanisms in place?
It is very difficult to tell if someone, unless they explicitly tell you that they have a problem, which I have had happen a couple of times, where someone says, I do this too much, I really shouldn't be doing this, and they clearly seem in distress. That, I just tell them, hey, it's up to you, babe. I always say across the board, I don't want you to do anything that you don't want to do. And I'm not a pushy salesperson. But everybody's different. We have very pushy salespeople. Every club does. And a lot of people don't care at all. But for the most part, when people have issues, it's really hard to tell because people are they're masking. Everyone's masking. The girls are, the customers are. And what looks like, just someone having a very good time could be someone who's absolutely spiraling, but because they're trying to escape their reality, they're not necessarily going to be like super upfront about that. I did have a conversation yesterday so I'm on the 19th, I'm going to be 5 years sober. And thank you. So, when I am offered a drink, which is often, I'll be talking to a customer and they'll be like, can I get you a drink? I'm like, I'm very straightforward. I say, I don't drink. I'll get a club soda or a 0 proof, whatever. And just be very cool. And then that'll most often just be the end of the conversation. But I did have a gentleman last night, ask me a bit, and this has happened a few times where they'll delve in a little bit further about my sobriety and how in the world I do the work that I do, while sober. And at this point, fortunately, it is very easy for me. I don't have the inclination at all to drink. It is absolutely possible to be sober this long and not be, thinking about drinking or not be worried about drinking at all. And I've, living proof of that. But we talked about it for a while, me and this gentleman, and he seemed fascinated by me, and he even said that he was inspired because he was drinking a glass of wine, and he described himself as an alcoholic, and I was just like, I obviously don't judge you at all. I'm happy to just sit here and keep talking. I won't have a drink, but feel free. And I could see like a bit of distress in his eyes, and he just wanted more information about how I did it. That's the thing. That's the thing that I feel at most at odds with morally when it comes to working at the club, encouraging drinking, and trying to sell. I really don't try that hard to sell alcohol. It can be beneficial to me. I can earn money, to sell alcohol, but I just with how I feel about alcohol in general, which is that, just kind of nobody needs it. It's weird for me to encourage drinking. So that is something that I grapple with daily. That's more obvious.
Great answer. We have a minute left. I want to get to some final questions from Pittsburgh. This one flew by. A lot of people reacting to this bouncer who keeps coming up. Dan, let's see. Patricia says, hex him, not okay. Danielle says, oh yeah, we're fucking hexing him. Noah asked a question. There's two questions I definitely want to get to. So Noah says, genuine question. I'm really curious your thoughts about hexing for the good of others. If you're hexing a bad person to protect another, are you still worried about that negative energy coming back in some retributional way?
I have been, but I have begun to not care.
Wow. You don't want to piss off a witch. You don't want to piss off a witch. And this is, you have the best laugh since the goose guy. Final question from Pittsburgh. Marcella, I'm so tempted. I won't make you out them. She says, name drop the famous people you've danced for. And I will say, I don't expect you. I don't want you to out them, but have you ever danced for people who, like, we all know them, household name level people?
Yeah. Uh-huh. But I will not out them. No, you're right. No.
Would we be legit blown away to know who they were?
It honestly, it depends on which industry you're in, which media industry you're in, and I cannot go any further with the information.
That was the best cliffhanger answer to end this episode on. What an amazing! Now we're all gonna be like, wait, what the fuck industry was that? Beautiful answer. Caller, I wish you nothing but the best between your altar, between your witchcraft, between the freedom that you have earned, between the way you have defined your own life after your parents really tried to define it for you in ways that you refused to succumb to. I'm a real big fan of this conversation I got to have, and I'm so psyched that we got to have it. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody on the free feed, and then we'll hang out and do a couple questions behind the paywall. Sound good?
All right. Sounds great. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks so much.
Round of applause for our caller, everybody. Thank you so much, Bottle Rocket. What a joy. Thanks for supporting the caller. Thanks for supporting Beautiful Anonymous. Thank you to everybody at Bottle Rocket for having us over the years. Thanks, Andrea, for doing all this driving and hard work. If you guys want to hang, just give me a couple minutes and then I'll be in the table at the back selling T-shirts. But no pressure, no pressure. You can also just come say hi. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night. Caller, thank you so much. Sincerely. Incredible vibes in general, let alone for a live show. What a way to end our first little mini touring chunk of 2026 in celebration of our 10-year anniversary. Thank you so much. Thanks for being open. Thanks for being honest. Thanks for sharing so many aspects of your life. And thanks to everybody in Pittsburgh who came out to Bottle Rocket. Thanks to our producer, Andrea Quinn, especially for driving me all over the Midwest as I had a cold. Who wants to be stuck in a car with a guy with a cold? Andrea stepped up to the plate and did that, and never made me feel bad about it once. Thank you, Andrea. You're a good friend. Thank you to Shell Shag for our music. Support Shell Shag. Go download Shell Shag. Go listen to Shell Shag. Put some money in their pocket. The sound of the show for 10 years now. We've got a voicemail line. We've got an Instagram. We've got the Facebook group. Get out there. Check it all out. Tell people that we exist. Thanks so much. And if you want more with each caller, BeautifulAnonymous.com gives you info on how you can pay a couple bucks each month for ad-free episodes, more time with each caller, and all sorts of other stuff. This week on Beautiful Anonymous Plus, here's some of what you'll get from the 5 questions.
That one had some twists and turns we never saw coming. Well done. Caller, I really hope that one of our listeners takes all the audio of your laughs and just puts out a version of this episode that's just your laugh. You could bottle that laugh and sell it for money. That's a great laugh.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. And send it to me if you may. I don't know how you would.
Somebody will do it. Somebody will do it. We'll see if maybe Andrea will even do it. The laugh cut.
Yeah.
That would probably imagine if that's what gets the show to all of a sudden be huge again. Here's the cut that's just a witch laughing.
Don't forget to sign up for Beautiful Anonymous Plus at BeautifulAnonymous.com.